TV's very own Mr. Magic, Jonathan Ross.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, welcome everybody. Hello, it's Penn and Teller Fool Us, where talented young magicians attempt to bamboozle the bamboozlers, the great Penn and Teller. The idea tonight is to try and fool two of the greatest magicians of all time, even if they do look like the two odd boys always picked last on Sports Day. Here they are. It's Penn and Teller. Mr. Teller, Mr. Penn, gracefully take your seat. See what you're doing. And we'll get started with the business of the night as we meet our first contender.
Cubic Act.
Cubic Act was created in this circus school
2 years ago.
Cubic Act is a stage illusion with a new presentation.
It's a timeless act, a strange act maybe.
We want to break the stereotype with the stage illusion.
It's a classic tricks, but we change things, and now the magicians are confused. They don't understand everything in the act. You will see.
Please welcome Cubic Act. Formidable. Very good. Really lovely. You know what's great is I'm looking at watching the audience as well as watching you, and everyone was like, wow, how are they doing that? Fellas, I'm sure you'll agree, that was a spectacular performance, wasn't it?
I will start by saying, unequivocally, absolutely, you fooled me. Completely.
Thank you. Halfway there, halfway to Vegas.
Now, that puts you flying right over the Statue of Liberty. You got to go all the way to Vegas. That means you have to fool Teller. And I will also tell you that what Teller has written down here is a guess. And we are hoping very much that he's wrong, because we want you to go to Vegas. I think it's the best big illusion stage act I've ever seen.
Wow, that's fabulous.
Teller has, and I want to stress that this is a guess. So take a look here and see. Maybe Teller can talk to you a little bit, because I'm with you.
I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a peep. That's filth.
Yeah.
Well, keep that secret, Teller.
Before you...
Hold on a second. Before you shred it, Teller.
Let's just check. Ladies and gentlemen, here. Did you fool them, or do they know what you did?
No.
They know.
Teller is a very, very good magician. He knows the trick. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Teller, yeah. Thank you.
But you fooled everyone else.
And I looked at the picture, and I still don't really understand it. Wonderful job.
What's going on?
Thank you.
That was incredible. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Fool Us. Let's go right on and meet our next contender.
Nick Einhorn.
My name is Nick Einhorn. I've been performing magic professionally for the last 16 years. 10 years ago, I was asked to write a magic book for the public. Since then, I've written a selection of books which, luckily for me, have sold over 500,000 copies all over the world. What I love about magic is that moment of wonder that you can give to people and just make them concentrate on something which hopefully is so magical that it just blows their mind. There's no specific area in which I specialise. It's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. That's not good, is it? No.
Will you please welcome Nick Einhorn.
Thank you very much. Recent research has suggested that under pressure, women make better decisions than men. Well, this evening, I'm going to put the power of a woman's intuition to the test. I'm going to do that by choosing a woman completely at random from tonight's audience. And there's a lady just here. Hi, what's your name?
Catherine.
Catherine, you look random to me. Could you stand up for us? I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer these questions impulsively. And if your instinct is right, then what we're about to do tonight, whilst not impossible, will be highly improbable. OK? Now, I've combined my two loves, magic and food. And behind me, on my right-hand side, are three of my favourite dishes. Behind me here are three tables. Your first task is to decide which table to serve which dish to. So let's start off with this dish here. And would you like this served to table number 1, 2, or 3?
2.
Table number 2. Excellent. Now let's go back for the next one. Would you like this at table number 1 or table number 3?
1.
1. Do you want to change your mind?
No, I'm going to go 1.
Still table number 1.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. That leaves the final one, which has to go to table number 3. Super. Now, we need to find 3 hungry-looking men from tonight's audience who are going to represent our diners for the next few moments. So I'd like you to randomly choose any 3 men from tonight's audience. If you would go ahead and point to anybody here this evening.
1.
Hi, sir. What's your name?
Jack.
Jack, could you stand up where you are, please? Thank you. And somebody else?
2.
Your name, sir, is?
Daniel.
Daniel, please stand up. That's great. And one more person.
And the guy over there in the hat.
Yes, good. All the way back here. Super. Your name, sir, is?
Wayne.
Wayne. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to join me. If you need reading glasses, please bring them with you. As you come up, we'll give you a name badge and a microphone. Everyone else will give you a huge round of applause. joining me, guys. You've got your name badges? OK, Catherine. Catherine, we've got some more decisions to make here. You have to choose which of these envelopes, blue, red and yellow, each of these guys get. So let's start with Daniel. Should he get the blue, the red or the yellow envelope?
Red.
The red envelope for Daniel. So, Daniel, if you could take hold of that for me. Thank you very much. And what about the blue envelope? Jack or Wayne?
Wayne.
Wayne gets the blue envelope, which Jack leaves you with the yellow envelope. Would you like to swap any of the envelopes around?
Swap the yellow and the red, yeah.
Bugger. OK. Do you think Wayne looks like a man who should be sitting at table 1, 2 or 3?
2.
Go and sit at table number 2, please, Wayne. What about Jack?
3.
Go and sit at table number 3. And Daniel, you have to go to table number 1. You have the longest to walk. Thank you very much. Now, before they get too comfortable, do you want to switch them around? Maybe change the men's order at all?
No.
OK, then your job is done. Now, let me just confirm a couple of things. First of all, I chose you completely at random from tonight's audience.
Yes, you did.
You placed those meals, those plates down on the table in any order you wanted, and you could have changed your mind. Then you chose 3 random men from tonight's audience, and then you gave them an envelope, and you could have changed the order. In fact, you did. Then you sat them down in this order, and even when I asked you to change your mind if you wanted to, you said, no, you're happy with the order they're in.
Yes.
Your intuition led you to this point in time, and this is what it's all been about. Gentlemen, could I ask you to open your envelopes, please? Inside your envelopes, there'll be a message for each of you. I'm going to start off at table number 1 and ask you, please, Daniel, slowly and clearly to read your message.
A man by the name of Daniel will be asked to sit at table number 1, where he will be served chicken tikka masala and pilau rice.
Well, hang on just a moment, because from all of these people, you did pick a man called Daniel who's sitting at table number 1. Let's see if you're served in the right meal. So you're at table number 2. Would you please slowly and clearly read your message?
Wayne will be instructed to sit at table number 2, where he'll be served burger and fries.
Well, again, Wayne is sitting at table number 2, but has he got a burger and fries? Yes! Which leaves you at table number 3. Would you please slowly and clearly read your message?
Which leaves Jack sitting at table number 3, where he'll enjoy a pizza.
This is Jack, this is table number 3, and this is a pizza.
Mr. Nick Einhorn, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't that incredible? Nick, remarkable. Wonderful stuff.
Hungry?
Well, I am a bit. I can smell the food. It smells good. That was remarkable. And I'm not particularly good with numbers. I can add up and stuff, but I know every time you add something and you give them a multiple choice for something, the permutations get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Absolutely.
So there were probably, if you think there were 3 initially you chose, and then the 3 had the 3 envelopes.
At least 40 billion.
So there's dozens, if not hundreds, of permutations. That could have gone any which way.
Yes, it could.
Let's find out what Penn and Teller think.
If we believe that your audience selection was really random, then it took a while to get the people up on stage. That time may not seem like much to a layperson, but to a magician, that seems like enough time for you to very clearly have in your head the people's names. And of course, you already know what the food is going to be. And there's the 3 tables. And then she gave them the envelopes. Then you asked her if she wanted to change her mind. And she did. And then with things completely out of your hands, they switched the envelopes. The guys did, without you touching them. Then they walked over to the table and you gave them another chance to switch. And she didn't, but she could have. And then they opened up the envelopes and it had not just the food on it, but the names of the guys, which you knew, you asked them. But it was at the right table, with the right food. And she switched them over here without you touching. That to a lay person. That is a remarkable trick. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely remarkable.
with very close to a century of combined knowledge of magic. Teller's huge magic library in Las Vegas. We are able to work together and talk back and forth with a sketch pad. And with that information, we were fooled. 100% dead fooled.
Nick Einhorn, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me clear. I don't mean it couldn't be this, it couldn't be that.
No idea. No idea.
I mean not a clue. I mean, if you put a gun to my head and said, take a guess, how did he do it? I would say, tell my family I love them.
Welcome back to Penn and Teller's Fool Us, where if magicians can fool them with a great trick, they will get to perform in Las Vegas. So let's meet our next challenger.
Michael Vincent.
My name's Michael Vincent, and I'm very passionate about magic. I performed last time on the TV special with Penn and Teller, and it was a hugely enjoyable process. I was a little bit apprehensive about trying to fool two of the most knowledgeable magicians on the planet.
Watch the right hand, watch that red ace. The quickness of the hand deceives the eye.
In terms of my performance, I believe it was the perfect trick in the perfect situation.
There was no trick deck whatsoever used. This is what a person can do with just their hands and a deck of cards.
After my performance, I remember feeling immensely proud.
This is not hours, not days, this is decades of practice to do
Old
this.
school magic.
I decided to come back because I believe I have what it takes to fool Penn and Teller. That's it in a nutshell.
Please welcome Mr. Michael Vincent.
Jonathan, Penn, Teller, would you like to join me at the table?
Sure.
Let's make them welcome. Great to see you again, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. And here we go. I'd like you to give the cards your best shuffle. Whenever you're satisfied, leave them down on the table. While you're doing that, I have another deck, a red deck for visual contrast. And this trick begins the way every other card trick begins. Mr. Penn, pick a card, any card. Look at it, remember it, don't forget it.
Shall I show it to the audience?
Yes, please. And slightly unconventional, I want you to write your name on the back of the card.
Back?
Not the face, but the back. Jonathan, would you mind reaching forward? Pick a card, any card. Okay, look at the card, remember it. And I'd like you to write your name on the back as well. Are you happy that the cards are shuffled, sir? Okay, down on the table. Thank you. I don't want you to feel left out either, so please take one out for us. Okay. Thank you. Look at the card, remember it. I'll take this pen, and if you'd like to write your name on the back as well. Thank you.
I didn't show the audience, shall I show them?
Yeah, show them the cards as well. It's very important that you do remember the cards as well, very important. Splendid. I'll take the pen back. Thank you. Considering the fact that you've written your name on the back, we now have a marked deck.
Yes, we do.
Intriguing. So we're going to pop your card roughly about here.
Okay.
How many cards would you say there are on top of your card right now, give or take?
12.
12 cards. That means, Jonathan, we can pop yours roughly around the middle of the deck. Thank you. And Mr. Teller will pop yours slightly near the bottom. So with all three cards in different positions, I'm going to attempt the impossible now, and let's find all three cards without ever touching this deck again. Tell me, are you right-handed or left-handed? Perfect. Can you go like this for me? Excellent. And put your hand on top. Don't move. I won't touch those cards again. The thought occurred to me I could use a different deck to find the exact three cards. And in order to do that, I have to use what's known in the trade as intuitive insight. Are you familiar with that?
Sure.
Perfect. Well, let me explain for those of you who don't. You can reach a level of performance which goes beyond conscious thought, and that's the idea. So right now, all I need you to do is just concentrate for me. My instincts tell me to stop right here. For the first time, what's the name of your card?
king of spades.
Lo and behold, the king of spades. Okay, one down, two to go. Jonathan, just concentrate for me. Because this card is no longer in the deck, I've got to recalibrate by one card. My instincts tell me to cut one more time, and I think I'm going to go with this one right here. What was the name of your card?
8 of hearts.
The 8 of hearts, lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, the 8 of hearts. King of spades, 8 of hearts. You know what we'll do this time? I'm going to do the next one without talking. However, if I get your card right, you can give me a high five or a thumbs up. I have a slight confession. Although this is a complete trick, it's slightly incomplete for one reason. Although these are the cards you chose, they're not the exact selections, the ones you signed your names on the back, because they're under your hand, inside the deck. But I want to push the boundaries of what's possible. So if I can just capture the spirit of all 3 cards. I believe, Mr. Penn, this is how you sign your name.
Looks like nice sloppy.
Jonathan, I believe your signature will now be worth millions on eBay. And Mr. Teller, I think this card speaks for itself.
Vincent, that was remarkable. Let's go over here. Let's give them a bit of space there. Wow. It takes a brave man to come out here and do an illusion in front of 2 of the masters anyway. They will know where to look. I mean, let's face it, we're idiots.
Muggles is the word.
Muggles,
right?
OK. We're non-magical people.
Yeah, I got that.
But they know, I guess, if they were doing it, where things would be going on.
Possibly.
So do you have to work extra harder to conceal stuff, or do you just do as good a job as you can?
You do the best job you can while recognizing it's hard to misdirect a professional magician, because misdirection and psychology is all part of the heartbeat of real magic.
Are you ready, fellas? Can we come on in? Let's go on in. I don't think that looks like you're too confident. It's incredible.
Have you ever seen that trick before? No. Is that your original trick?
It's the first time it's been seen on television.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And we know your hands, and we know how good your hands are. And when your name came up, before they even showed the package, I had a little bit of terror in my heart. You are about my favorite performer. I will say, however, that once again, and you know this better than anyone there, and I'm going to speak a little bit of double talk.
Are we talking cryptic language here?
We're going a little bit.
Got it, okay.
They force you on television to put Teller at the educational angle.
Okay, I got that.
And me at the other educational angle. So the location, Teller got to see.
Yeah.
And then shall we say, the add-on, I got to see.
Yeah.
And the move that I don't want to say the name of, but the way you put the cards down on the table, that is a move that every magician needs to learn. And I'm telling you, I knew exactly what you were doing and could not see the slightest error. So once again, one of my favorite performers, but you did not fool us. And I hope you come back again.
Thank you. That's what I was told.
That is just about as good as it gets, isn't it?
I wish we could convey to people that he is doing the classic stuff. This is stuff you read in books and say, maybe someday I'll be able to learn it. And you never see anyone do it perfectly clean with no false moves or anything. So for us, I think perhaps we enjoyed that more than the audience, and the audience was killed by it. So it's fabulous.
Welcome back to Fool Us, and it's time for us to meet our next magician.
Morgan and West. Hello everyone, my name's Rhys Morgan.
I'm Rob West.
And we've been performing together since about 1888.
Which in your calendar is about 2007.
I teach maths and a little bit of physics at King Alfred School in Wantage.
I teach chemistry and physics at King Alfred School in Wantage.
We live together.
We work together.
And we do our magic together.
We always present ourselves as Morgan and West in this order.
We drink a lot of tea and
we eat a lot of biscuits.
I eat a lot of biscuits.
Yeah, you eat certainly. Penn Teller, with the absolute best of intentions, is like the American War of Independence. The British are coming.
And we've brought biscuits.
They may well sound like a medium-sized firm of insurance brokers, but they are, in fact, Morgan and West, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Morgan, Mr. West, am I? Lovely to meet you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rhys Morgan.
I'm Robert West.
Together we are Morgan and West, and not only are we magicians...
Time travellers.
And all-round spiffing chaps.
We are also tourists.
Fourth-dimensional tourists.
And on our travels through time...
And space...
we've met loads.
We mean loads.
Very famous people.
And tonight is no exception. So let's give one more big hand for Mr. Jonathan Ross.
Thank you.
You can stand here for me.
Here, in the middle here.
Now, Mr. Ross, on our travels, we've made something of an album of all the famous people we've met. So there you see Charles Darwin. There's Mahatma Gandhi. There's Marilyn Monroe. I imagine you've seen a Silhouette album before. Could you give those a nice thorough mixing for me?
A shuffle?
Yes, a nice thorough shuffle.
Now, Mr. Ross, we'd very much like to add you to our collection, and whilst we go about this, we thought we'd do you a magic trick.
Okay.
You happy those have had a thorough
I've
shuffle?
shuffled them about as well as I can.
Marvellous. You can go and sit down over there for me, Mr. Ross. That's splendid. I'll put these down here. And hold your hand out nice and flat for me. Perfect. Now, you see, as well as being adept at cutting silhouettes, Mr. Ross, Mr. Morgan is exquisite at talking about them.
Rather.
So even though he cannot see these, he should be able to tell you whoever you are merely thinking about.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ross, you are, of course, going to have to keep rather still whilst posing. So Mr. West is going to turn over the silhouettes one by one. I'd just like you to focus on the person that you can see and think about them.
Mr. Ross, think about this person.
You are thinking about an entertainer. This is a lady, a wonderful lady, Ginger Rogers. Am I right?
It is.
Fantastic. Sorry, the silhouette's not so good on that one. Would not stop moving.
Right, it's a strange silhouette.
She wouldn't stop dancing. We had to cut it as she went. OK, think about this one for me, Mr. Ross.
Just focus on that person there for me. You are thinking the wonderful scientist Marie Curie, am I right?
Yes,
fantastic.
absolutely.
Lovely. Next.
And Mr. Ross, you're happy that there's no way that Mr. Morgan can see through the back of these cards against the light?
They're completely opaque. There's no way you can see through them.
And there's no sort of markings or anything for him to read or anything?
No, none at all.
So you're happy this is genuine psychic ability?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as say that, but certainly I can't see how you could be doing it.
Next one, please.
Just think of this person.
This is an author. This is C.S. Lewis, am I right?
That's right.
Fantastic. Mr. Ross, would you lift your chin a little, please? Thank you so much.
Think of this person.
And this time, Florence Nightingale.
Yes.
Fantastic. Next.
Correct again.
Think of that person.
And the great Harry Houdini.
It is the great Harry Houdini.
I think, actually, we're quite short on time, so none of these people are very famous, actually.
No.
And this one?
And Alexander Graham Bell. Always talking.
Always on the phone.
Always on the phone, yes. Next. And this, Abraham Lincoln.
It is, and it's so nice to hear all these names on Saturday night ITV again.
Yes.
It's been a while for most people.
It's been a while for
Actually, again, to save time, could you take about half of those, perhaps, and just give them to me?
Give them to you.
Splendid. I believe Mr. Morgan's actually about
Yes,
done.
I am pretty much finished.
Next, you can turn them over yourself if you would like.
You want to do
yes, please. Okay. No, just focus on that person. You are Shirley Temple.
Yes.
Lovely. Thomas Edison.
Yes.
Virginia Woolf.
Yep.
Vera Lynn.
Yes.
Every single one. A round of applause for Mr. Ross. And Mr. Ross, just stand and face me.
Fabulous.
This is for you. This is for you.
For Morgan and West, ladies and gentlemen. That was quite something. That was tremendous fun. Can I ask you, how long do you spend on your male grooming on the facial foliage?
quite a while, some hours a day.
It's quite a routine.
I haven't seen anything like this myself. I don't know whether Penn and Teller have. Do you think they will be familiar with this kind of illusion?
I imagine they may have done their histories.
OK, well, let's find out now whether you're going to go to Vegas if you have any for them. How'd they do, fellas?
It breaks our heart to say this because of how much we love the whole idea of y'all. But when Jonathan went and took the seat after he had shuffled so badly those cards, we saw you do that sneaky, awful move you didn't want us to see you do. Shall I say more?
Well, what kind of move are we talking about here? Just so we know
switch.
that you're a deck switch. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, would such a phrase mean something to you?
It's fair to say that that means something to us.
That means something to us, and if there was a deck switch, then we couldn't do this or that.
What do you mean?
That's empty, this is empty. There was no deck switch.
There was no deck switch?
Well, we saw you do it. We saw as you went across, you monkeyed underneath it.
I think it's worth saying at this point that every single card that Jonathan shuffled was on Jonathan's hand in the order he shuffled it.
So hold on,
we promise.
You did not switch the deck.
We did not switch out that deck.
So there was nothing at all done from the time Jonathan shuffled the deck, the time Jonathan sat down and you put it on his
We
hand.
did not switch out the cards that Jonathan shuffled.
I think if there was no deck switch, then...
Well, did you... Let me just ask you something.
Never mind, just
No.
something.
Did you, just to monkey with us, do a move that looked tricky in order to lead us astray?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
Do you just naturally walk around looking like you're switching decks without realising?
Well, then I got one more thing to say. You fooled us.
Yeah! Have a great journey, ladies and gentlemen. Morgan and West. I thought you must have had it. Do you have any inkling even now how it was done?
We have a pretty good idea now.
Well, it's too late. OK, so... Don't go away, though, because after the break, Penn and Teller will be right here on the stage playing Russian roulette with pneumatic nail guns. It has to be seen to be believed. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Fool Us. Now, tonight, two people have managed to fool Penn and Teller. They'll be playing on their stage in Las Vegas. That's incredible, isn't it? Congratulations. OK, well, I've loved all the performers tonight, but this is the bit I've been most looking forward to. If you're of a nervous disposition or if you work for health and safety, look away now. Because playing Russian roulette with a pneumatic nail gun for your pleasure, please welcome on stage the fabulous, the unique Penn and Teller.
Now, this magic trick is kind of about memorization, kind of about focus, and kind of about concentration. Now, memorization acts have been on a fashion for many, many years. We tried to make our version a little bit less totally cerebral by adding in a nail gun. And I hope you're all aware of how bad nail guns are. They're responsible for about 30,000 emergency room visits a year in the United States. And that's compressed air over there, and it's forcing out the nails with a great deal of power. Certainly enough power to go all the way through that board into another board and fasten them together for construction purposes. But I've thwarted that by putting the board on a metal table so the nails stick out a little bit. Now, we're talking about memorization, and the trick looks like this. Now, the nail gun is loaded right here, and it's loaded what's called a string, which is two pieces of rigid plastic that hold the nails perpendicular, equidistant from one another. When you pull nails out of the string, whenever the nail gun comes to one of those spaces, it still fires the air and makes the noise, but it does not fire a nail. So all I have to do is memorize this sequence. And I can do this. the trick. Now, you've noticed by now that I'm not just alternating. As a matter of fact, the pattern does not repeat for the whole trick. Now, if you'd seen a memorization act in vaudeville, there obviously would not have been a nail gun. It would have all been done with numbers and words. The performer would have gotten maybe 40 single-digit numbers yelled out by the audience, memorized that almost random sequence, and then written it back perfectly on a chalkboard while reciting any Shakespeare sonnet chosen by the audience. And this is the exact same trick. Just like wire walking. It's the exact same trick if the tight wire is set 4 feet off the ground as if it's set 50 feet off the ground. And yet, if you had a little bit of danger. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. We're gonna add a little bit of danger to the bit that makes the whole show just a little more visceral, a little more exciting. Now, most memorization acts are magic tricks. They're lies. And we don't mind you knowing that because Teller and I believe it is morally wrong to do things on stage that are really too dangerous. It makes the audience complicit in unnecessary human risk. Any doubts about this being a lie? I think that proves it right there.
Remarkable. Fabulous. Awesome. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the brilliant but clearly deranged Penn and Teller. That's it for tonight. Hope you can join us again. See you next time, everyone. Thanks for watching.